We're here to do the groundbreaking for the renovations of the tennis courts and the basketball courts here at Glenfield Park. One of the exciting things is usually at this time I announce the engineer or the architect that won the RFP to do this, but we did this internally, right, Joe D? We have some great young engineers and architects that we've hired, and some of the smaller projects we're doing in-house, so we're saving the county taxpayers' dollars. So I'd like to first thank Sanjeev and the Public Works staff for this wonderful design. And then I'd like to call up from Sugar Property Services, who won the bid to do this work, Matt Mulligan. Big Matt.
Thank you very much. I'm Matt Mulligan. I'm Vice President of Operations for the Sugar Group, and I'm here to represent Donna Lisa Sugar. I'm here to thank the County Executive, the Board of Chosen Freeholders, Essex County staff, Engineering Department, and all the people that we've built such a huge and great working relationship over the years. Again, we're happy, we're proud, and appreciative to have another opportunity to provide our services to the County of Essex. As you can see behind us, construction has started. Some of the work is performed. Concrete pads are in for bleachers. Basketball stanchions are getting ready to be installed. Milling and paving of the tennis court and the basketball court are soon to be done. Obviously, we've guaranteed, and as we always do, to have this job done on time, on budget, as Don Sugar would say. So again, thank you very much for this opportunity to everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. None of this would be possible without the cooperation of the great Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. I'd like to call up to say a few remarks. We have Freeholder at Large Pat Siebold and District Freeholder Lenny Luciano. And I'd also like to recognize, he called me and let me know he was in an important meeting today and he couldn't be here, but he wanted to send his regards to District Freeholder, the Freeholder from Montclair who's at large, Brendan Gill.
Okay. Thanks to the Chief of Staff. Good afternoon to everyone that's here. Today's a beautiful day, probably one of the nicest we've had all summer. You know, if you look at the drawing and you look behind us, the difference between the drawing and what we had here is going to be amazing. I mean, when we resurface, you know, not just our fields with turf, but when we resurface them to do things like tennis and basketball, I know that our county executive and his entire engineer team and parks department do the best that they can to make sure that our facilities are top notch. On behalf of the rest of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, our President Brittany Timberlake, as mentioned, our Vice President Brendan Gill, and my colleague who you're going to hear from, we're always happy to partner with the county executive and be here because parks and recreation is really important to families and to children. And if it's not our children, our families, then it may be our seniors. Just like a lot of the buildings that we see throughout our parks department house our seniors, you know, whether they play cards, they drink coffee, you know, they have all kinds of events going on. And, you know, so again, I'm proud to stand here as a partner, and I look forward to many more of these projects to come. Thank you.
I'm happy to be here today representing the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. I have to applaud the county executive for always coming up with a new idea to make our parks even better. We have the largest park system in Essex County and one of the largest in the country. And with everything the county executive has done for our parks, they are coming from all over. And I'm happy to be the freeholder liaison to the Open Space Trust Fund Advisory Board, and Lori Tanner, who is the president or the chair of the Open Space Trust Fund Advisory Board, is here. And almost all of the projects that the county executive would like to do come before the advisory board and we review it. And it keeps getting better and better. I'm waiting for the day when the county executive can no longer think of something to do. I don't think that will ever happen. Never, never. But the best part of it all is that it affects the quality of life for all the residents of Essex County, no matter where they live. Our park system really improves the quality of life. So thank you very much, and thank you, County Executive.
Pat, Joe's already talked about it. When he's can't find anything else new to do, we're just going to start from the beginning and redo all the things that we, by the time we get there, they'll need to be redone.
We'll support him.
Absolutely. So there's a vibrant recreation program here in Glenfield Park, operated through the county by the Montclair Neighborhood Development Corporation. I'd like to call up to say a few words their executive director, Albert Pellin.
So, good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to recognize Mr. Wally Troy sitting in the car. He's been running grassroots in this park for 50 years. In fact, I think this is their 50-year anniversary. So I'm excited about this whole process. When you look at what's going on in this country with number 45, not being political, but just the hate that it's okay to hate, not hide it anymore. But when you come to these parks in Essex County, all you see is this mosaic of people. If you come here, you'll see baseball going on, basketball going on, tennis. We have a vibrant senior program. Can the seniors say something? Give us a hand. So on behalf of my organization, I forgot, Deputy Chief Will Young runs the Cobras, and I'll get arrested if I don't mention the Cobras. The Cobras, okay, Bill? All right. I'd like to recognize my staff, if you could stand up. And above all, Joe D has done a tremendous job with the parks. He just got yelled at by the seniors about not fixing inside the park house, but he's made a promise, so he can't go anywhere for, you said next year, right? All right, so you're good for another year. But on behalf of MNDC, people of Montclair, and the people that use this park, we're looking forward to this renovations. And again, thank you.
Al, if we're good for next year, that means we're good for the next 5. So make sure we're good next year. Make sure we're good next year. The great mayor of Montclair, I'm going to ask him to come up a few words. I know there's some elected officials here from the Montclair Council I'm going to ask him to recognize. But our business administrator, the mayor of Montclair, Robert Jackson.
Thanks, Phil. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my summer resort as a kid. This park has so many tremendous memories for me, and I know for so many people who are here. This is where we grew up. This is where we played. This was our life. And to see the great renovations that our county executive, along with the Board of Chosen Freeholders, has done over the years, and will continue to do, obviously, behind us, it's just so gratifying. I want to thank you, Joe, from the bottom of my heart for what you're doing for our community. I also, too, if I may, take an opportunity to recognize some of the folks who are here from the township. Our township manager is here, Tim Stafford. Deputy Township Manager Brian Scantlebury. Police Chief Todd Conforti. Deputy Chief Will Young. Deputy Chief Tracy Verzano. Our Parks Director is back there, Pat Breshka. And Katya Woke, who's our Director of Communications. Did I miss anybody? Oh, and I'll come back to my favorite person over here in a minute. But I just want to recognize them for all the work they do, too. We feel here in Montclair we've got a great community. We're proud to be a part of Essex County. We hope that all of you will come back when this is finished and enjoy it and continue to enjoy the township of Montclair, and particularly this park. Couldn't leave without recognizing Bob Russo, who is actually the longest serving elected official in Montclair history. Bob? Just want to recognize him. He continues to do a great job on our council. Again, thank you all for coming, and we look forward to seeing you again here in Montclair.
Next, for a few remarks, the Deputy Chief of Staff, the former Assemblyman, great lover of the outdoors and the parks, Bill Payne. Bill?
Thank you. Hey, Wally, how you doing? Thank you. God bless you. Yeah, I drove up here. I come here fairly often. As a matter of fact, it brings back memories of a long time ago. I had friends up here. As a matter of fact, lived right on the street. The Oliver, I think not Sheila Oliver, but Jane Oliver and her sister, et cetera, lived around here. And I used to come to this park. I came to the park ostensibly, but I just came up here to see these Montclairites that were in the park very often. But it is incredible the amount of work and the amount of improvements that have been done in the Essex County Park system under this leadership of Joe D. Born and raised in the city of Newark, the park closest to me was Branchburg Park, but I've been to many other ones, and it's really incredible the kind of uplift that the facilities give to the neighborhoods, where youngsters who can't go to camp, can't go out of town, etc., but are able to come to the facilities that we have here and get first-class facilities, tennis courts and basketball and all the rest of it. I mean, it's really incredible the kind of lift for the young people's lives that they get by coming to these first-class parks. Years ago, a lot of the parks, many years ago, were torn down and broken and that kind of thing, but I think all of us can say that we're proud to be in this county and be able to have these facilities available for us, not only for the young people, but also for some of the older ones. Somebody mentioned some of the games that people play, but Phil, you left out, we also play not a shuffleboard, but, bocce ball. I grew up in the North Ward, so bocce ball was part of the menu for us as well. But I really would like to congratulate the county executive. A lot of times in politics you hear all kinds of slogans, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We've heard a slogan here for about 14 years or so, putting Essex County first. But I think it's more than a slogan. You can look around and see the things that have happened. And the other thing is that we've had people that have been all advocates for parks and improvements, et cetera. Some of the people that are now seniors have been banging at the door about things that we need in these parks, and what I've seen is that every single one of the parks, no matter where they are in the county of Essex, have gotten first-class attention, and that we can all be proud of the county executive, and not just the county executive, but for the people that keep these parks up. I'm happy to be part of this administration because not only have we talked about putting Essex County first, but we have, and I'm proud to say that. Thank you very much.
So Al said we shouldn't be political today, but I'm going to introduce the next Lieutenant Governor of the state of New Jersey, Sheila Oliver.
Good afternoon, everyone. It seems like it was just yesterday that we were all gathered here as we unveiled the memoriam to Bobby Hurt. And the basketball courts, the monument, all the people that come to the park learn the history of Bobby Hurt. And I've had the privilege of representing Montclair in the legislature since 2004. And I can tell you that Glenfield Park and Glenfield School represent the heart and soul, not just of Montclair, but of the 4th Ward of Montclair. And the residents take this park seriously. It is part of the DNA if you live in this neighborhood. And we even saw the mayor several weeks ago in a newspaper photo with his sleeves rolled up, picking paper up in the park. So this is a community asset, no question about it. And you can't think about the park without thinking of Wally Choice and his lovely wife. And Albert mentioned that it will be the 50th anniversary of Grassroots Incorporated. And I can remember through the years coming to the field house, the choices, creating and making sure there was recreation opportunity for people of all ages right here in Montclair, right here in the 4th Ward. and Joe, everyone gets exposed to this park the first Saturday of every June when the African American Heritage Parade Committee lines up here, the floats, the people, and everyone gets to enjoy the park on that day. So I'm happy about the improvements. You can depend upon Joe within a year, Phil, to be back for our seniors doing what they want inside the field house.
So as her daughter's about to turn 1 year old, right? She's spending a lot more time in playgrounds and in parks, and as she becomes 2 and 3 and 4, you'll be there all the time. Senator Teresa Ruiz.
Thank you, Phil. The mayor said, welcome to his resort. I say, welcome to my home away from home. I represent the city of Newark, but as I tell the mayor all the time, I leave my entire check here in the township of Montclair. Everyone has repeated it time and time and again, but I want to say that we have a consummate park advocate here, someone who I had the pleasure of meeting when I worked for Joe when he was freeholder president, and that's Wally Choice. Oftentimes I think individuals think that they cannot make a difference, but one person who is embedded and believes can certainly turn around a place into a tangible concept. All he needed was a leader that understood that if we listen to our communities and we respect what our neighbors want and we build for tomorrow's generations, then you get a field like Glenfield Park. It is one of the best areas that we have when you think about what a park is supposed to do, which is really provide environmental and social justice for our children and next generations. Right next to a school, surrounded by families, surrounded by faith-based organizations, a place where people can find respite, who can work out, or you can just enjoy a concert in the park. Certainly the basketball courts and the tennis courts will get a lot of good use, and as you can see by the turnout here, Glenfield is a beloved place to be. So I'm really fortunate to be part of an administration that recognizes that government is not about the term that you're prescribed to. It is not about the title that is afforded to you, but it is about people like Joe DiVincenzo that recognize government is about the people who we represent.
Thank you, Senator. First of all, Glenfield Park is Glenfield Park because of the guy sitting in that car right there, Wally Choice. I've known Wally for over 40 years, but 50 years he's dedicated to this park and to the community with the Montclair grassroots. And it's him and his wife, they're a team. Wherever they go, you see them as a team, they're together. And then you have guys like Albert. I don't know how long, Albert, you've been doing your thing with the neighborhood association right here. When you come here during the summer, you see the basketball league and the kids competing, but they don't only play basketball, but they go to school too. They have to be both to be able to be part of Albert's league. And I want to thank you, Albert, for what you've done. And also the community. Listen, the only reason that we're in the position that we're in here in Glenfield and why this is, because it's a strong community, all right? And not only because of Wally, Albert, it's because of the community. You accept this park as part of your own. And that's what it is. You know, we work for you, all right? We need to make sure that these parks are what they should look like. And they're even going to get even better. You know, last year we opened the playground. We did the baseball field in the back with the historic lights. All right. And next year, besides this, we're going to be doing the front of Wally Choice's building there. We're going to make that look spectacular. And also we're going to do the inside of the building. Now, why is that going to happen? Sheila Oliver is going to be the next lieutenant governor. And the guy who's the administrator of Essex County is Robert Jackson. He so happens to be the mayor. And of course, the freeholder board. Imagine the pressure that I would have if I don't get it done. Forget about you, Bob Russo. You might be the longest. It's what's today. Sheila Oliver. You know, parks is about what? It's about quality of life. All right? It's about economic development. It's about improving property values. That's why in every one of our parks for the last 15 years, we haven't improved it. Because this is your home away from home. This is the area where you share with your family. and it plays a big role in your life. This is where you deal with the ups and downs. I know when I have any problem whatsoever, I can go up any one of our parks and make sure it puts me at peace. But I'm so proud of what we've done. It hasn't been me. It's been the team that I've assembled. I got great Parks Director, Dan Savanti, Kate. I got a great Public Works staff, Sunji and his team that, work so hard together. And I got great directors. And I got a great freeholder board that works with us together and making sure we get things done. Now, I don't know if you read about it. We wouldn't be in this position if if our financial house wasn't in order. When I took over 15 years ago, we had a $64 million deficit. We were junk bonds compared to Orange County. 15 years later, we had 14 upgrades with Moody's and with Fitch. We are now AA1, which means we're one step from AAA bond rating. That has never happened in the history of Essex County. And the reason I mention that is you can't do all these other things unless your house is in order. All right? And if you go from one town, Newark, to Milburn, to Livingston, to Nutley, we're all one family. All right? We work for you. All right? Which is the most important thing. So, Wally, we're going to make sure we have a great 50th anniversary. Wally's been complaining to me for 50 years. This man is never, ever happy. And then you have his wife that always sits next to him, and whatever Wally says, she says yes. I was hoping sometimes, Lean, that you would agree with me. It's perfect timing. Listen, get the building done on the 50th anniversary. I went in there, the seniors didn't say, thank you, Joe D, for what you did. They want to know what you're going to do for them tomorrow. And we don't have the krill program in there. We got to make sure we get in, but we can't have that until we have the kitchen redone in the entire building. And that will be done before the end of next year. Thank you all very much. Come on, Sheila. Mayor.